Fine-tune your reverse-engineered brand. Now that you have reverse-engineered your competitors and you have examined certain elements of their website, as well as marketing strategy critically, the next step is to look for patterns. Look for the industry standard. When you look at the content that your competitors publish, as well as their ads, their brand values, and their site layout among others, a certain pattern should emerge. There should be some sort of pattern that you would see that pretty much unites all your competitors. Their sites may look very different from each other, and their content is obviously different enough. But when you look at the themes, topics, and overall design philosophy they follow, many of those sites actually share quite a bit of similarity. Pay attention to this. Use this as industry standard of your high-ticket sales niche. How come? They wouldn't have that commonality if it doesn't work at some level or another. There's a reason why photography services, legal services, certain types of medical specialties share similar design and content patterns. The reason, of course, lies in customer expectation. When customers see that service providers have websites designed a certain way, that's what they will look for. At the back of their mind, that is the industry standard. Look for this industry standard. Your own website, as well as marketing materials, content, and editorial policies and strategies should mirror the industry standard. In other words, when people end up at your website from search engines or social media or other traffic sources, they're not in for a shock. If they have been looking for the kind of merchandise or service you are advertising or promoting, they probably look at other websites pushing the same things. When they end up on your website, they know what to expect, because your website speaks the same graphical and content language as your competitors. This is the industry standard. You gain instant credibility and legitimacy when your website appears to be in the mainstream of your niche. The industry standard can only go so far. Please understand that when you adopt the industry standard, all you are doing is trying to get a head start. Compare this with starting from scratch. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have an idea. So you come up with something new, but that new design may be just so disconcerting and so random to people used to your niche that they may either ignore you or fail to take you seriously. None of these situations is good. This is why you need to get a head start by adopting the industry standard look and content policy. But after that, you have to fine-tune your specific look and content based on how your website actually performs. If you notice that the vast majority of your traffic is excited about a certain type of content, and pages containing the content tend to get more traffic, if you notice this pattern, then shift your content strategy towards that type of content. Drill deep. Become the established online authority for that type of content. This is how you customize your brand based on your actual experience. You're not going to stay with the industry standard. The industry standard just gives you a starting point. From this point onwards, you have to look at the actual performance of your website to help you chart its future. Build up your base and constantly ask for feedback. To build a solid brand in any high-ticket niche, you cannot insulate yourself from your audience. You have to create a community around your content. Look at them as your base. Look at them as your partners. Constantly engage with them. Constantly ask for feedback. Make them feel that they are co-creators of your website. Constantly optimize key parts of your online presence. On your website, constantly optimize your affiliate offers, product offers, content strategy, and mailing list recruitment strategy. Keep mixing it up and look at what works. The problem is if you believe that you just need to build a website and keep it the same way forever, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're putting yourself at a serious competitive disadvantage because, let's face it, most people do not do things right the first time around. There's always room for improvement. You can always optimize for greater results. This is why you have to constantly optimize the different key elements of your online presence. Are you offering the right products? Are you scaling your mailing list correctly? Are you filtering people correctly? Are you offering the right content? Are you recruiting people to your mailing list in the most optimal way? There's just so many places you can improve. Don't fall for the trap of thinking that your website is some sort of take it or leave it proposition. Let me tell you, if that's your mindset, most people would leave you. How would you know? Look at your bounce rate. If, for whatever reason, people do not detect the information or experience they are looking for, they're not shy, they will bounce out quickly. And not only would this hurt you as far as Google is concerned, it can also erode your brand's value on the internet. When people start to talk about your brand, it's very easy for them to sweep you under the rug and dismiss you as an afterthought. You don't want that to happen. What is the secret? Keep reading. Your secret sauce. Community. If you have read any kind of content marketing book, or if you have done any kind of affiliate marketing and researched what affiliate marketing specialists do, you probably have come across the word community several times. Community is just like the word love. People use it all the time, but the more they use it, the more it loses its meaning. I know it's sad, but it's true. You can't look at community as some buzzword. You can't look at it as just another marketing concept. It has to be real for your specific case. Unfortunately, nobody can do this for you. You have to jump in there. You have to engage with your community members and get them to become emotionally invested in your brand. How do you do this? Well, send updates where you ask people for their opinion and you give out freebies. Don't get nervous. Just because you're giving out freebies doesn't mean that you're giving out money. Believe it or not, in marketing survey after marketing survey, people respond less to dollar incentives than they do to moral or symbolic incentives. Believe it or not, simply giving out a graphic member of the month or mentioning their name in your next email update is enough to incentivize people. Regardless, you have to give them incentives for participating. Make them feel that they matter. I have seen many mailing lists give out updates where they mentioned everybody who would send in any feedback. Even if it's the most ridiculous feedback, even if it doesn't really add anything to the discussion, they still get acknowledgement and recognition. It is no surprise that those mailing lists tend to be successful because a lot of people on the list feel that they matter. They feel that they are being listened to. They feel that they are being validated by the brand that they support. If you are on mailing lists and one mailing list treats you like a complete nobody and you feel anonymous, while the other list mentions you and runs promotions or collaboration campaigns that excite you, which list would you rather stay on? Which list email would you rather check? Which list would you talk about with your friends? It's a no-brainer. When people feel like a number, or they are made to feel like they are another face in the crowd, they're not all that excited. They won't be motivated to become your brand's evangelist or provide testimonials for your brand. Please understand that this is crucial. Since you are dealing with high-ticket sales that involves very selective and very discriminating audiences, a little bit of fan support helps. In fact, it can mean the difference between perpetually struggling and becoming one of the top brands in your niche. Tap your fan base. They are not just your customers, they are your potential fans. Turn them from content readers and list squatters to your pumped up, energized, and enthusiastic fan base. Not only are these people more willing to buy whatever it is you're pushing, but they're also more willing to spread the word about your brand. How come? They feel emotionally invested. They feel connected. At some level or another, they are under the impression that they have skin in the game. Grow your brand around your community. This is probably the hardest part of this process because a lot of marketers are content to stop at the point immediately above this section. But if you truly want to take your brand to the next level, evolve your brand around your fan base instead of the other way around. This is the secret to sustainable brand power. If you want your mailing list to grow in value over time, build it around the needs of the people on your list. Hold contests, hold AMA sessions, hold photo contribution contests or projects. Ask individual members if you can turn them into case studies. These are just some of the many ideas that you can use to build community. Remember, your list is not just a collection of people who have given you their legal consent to send them messages. Your list is a relationship. Treat it like one.